In the days before the coming of Jesus Christ, Italy was the superpower of those days, and it was being governed by the emperor. It was an empire being governed by the emperor, and the emperor of those during those days had assigned Pilate particular regions of Israel to be the ruler, and then some parts were being ruled by Herod. And so the emperor used to worship a goddess of sexual morality. And so the more the emperor spread the gospel of the religion of worshipping this goddess, the more this goddess empowered him. And therefore he put in a lot to ensure it is spread. And the more the religion spread, or the faith, the more the emperor was empowered in terms of wealth, in terms of power. And that is why when you watch the movies of those old days, those movies like Spartacus, movies like Rome, the movies about the Italian Empire, you see that there is full of sexual morality in them because they were worshipping the goddess of sexual morality. And she's the same goddess in different parts of the world, whereby she's worshipped by different cultures. Especially when a woman gives birth to twins and they start rejoicing and fornicating and practicing sexual morality and singing songs which are obscene. All that is done to worship her, believing she has blessed them with fertility of producing twins, because they believe, as being the goddess of sexual morality, she's the goddess of fertility as well. So she's worshipped even till to date, but she's called different names in different parts of the world. Some call her Diana, some call her Columbiana, some call her Iris. She has different names. Even the Israelites, after the death of Jesus Christ, some used to worship her as the Queen of Heaven. Even before the death of Jesus Christ, some used to worship her as the Queen of Heaven. And so, after Jesus had left, the faith of Jesus Christ, of born again Christians, was spreading. And the more it spread, according to the name that Jesus had left, most of the people that were worshipping this goddess were turning to being born again Christians. And this is something which affected the worship of this goddess, and therefore she declined in empowering the emperor. So the emperor realized the religion is no longer being spread as it used to. It's no longer as powerful as it used to, because now people were becoming more prayerful to the true living God, and therefore the powers of this goddess were declining. The powers of this religion was declining. So the emperor had to do something. So she started killing whoever accepted Jesus Christ as their personal Lord and Savior. He started killing whoever had become a born again Christian, so that to stop its spread. But where there is the hand of God, nothing can stop the works of the Lord. So the spread continued till a point, after something like 300 years, when Jesus has left, the mother of the then emperor accepted to be born again, accepted Jesus as her personal Lord and Savior. And then the emperor of that time couldn't kill his mother. So he decided to unite. Before Jesus had come, this the Catholics, by that time it was not called Catholic, this faith, the Pharisees had introduced it into the faith of Israelites, and they had twisted it, and they were worshipping this woman as the Queen of Heaven in Israel. So which brought Jesus, and this had to stop in Israel, since people now started turning back to Jesus Christ and believing in him. And this is the reason why the Pharisees killed him, because now they realized the more people are turning away from worshipping the Queen of Heaven, the less the emperor is going to pay them. And so they had to kill Jesus and stop the faith which Jesus had brought. So now after Jesus has gone and this mother of the emperor has turned into being born again, so the emperor decided to bring in the idea which Pharisees had done previously of uniting the faith of the Israelites with the faith of worshipping this goddess. So they got that idea, and then they were like, now what should we do? So some of the advisors of the emperor told him, since we want the goddess to be worshipped, let's just change her name and call her now, since Jesus had his mother called Mary, let's call this goddess Mother Mary. So when we introduce it into them, it will be like it is the same faith. And then we bring in the same worshipping instruments we use into church now, such that it appears as though we are worshipping Jesus, but through her mother. And so that's when the idea of Mother Mary came in. And so they started worshipping Mother Mary unknowingly, thinking they are worshipping Jesus Christ through his mother. Yet in actual sense, they were worshipping this goddess, which is known as the spirit of sexual immorality, the spirit of fertility. And so that is now when this faith, this religion of the Catholics started. And Catholic is known as something universal, something which is of the whole world. That's the meaning of the word Catholic. But then, because it came from the Roman Empire, so it was baptized the name Roman Catholic. And so because it had been introduced into the Church of Jesus Christ, and they wanted people who were worshipping Jesus Christ to get involved into it without knowing, so they called it the Roman Catholic Church. So that is the origin of the Roman Catholic Church. It is not for Jesus, it is against Jesus. So this Mother Mary thing is just to confuse people who love Jesus to get lost. Just confuse people who love Jesus into worshipping what they don't know. Because they go to church singing Mother Mary, not knowing what they are actually worshipping, thinking they are praying to God, yet in actual sense they are praying to a goddess spirit, which is in fact against them. So I pray to God that He touches your heart. If you're seeking the true living God, who is Jesus Christ, you don't have to pray to Him through His mother. Because you remember on the cross, Jesus told Mary, He didn't call her mother, He called her woman. And what does that mean? It means she's just a woman she used to come on earth. She's not His mother. She's just a woman who brought flesh to earth. God existed before Mary. God created Mary, so there's no way Mary can be the mother of God. That was just a lie, deceiving you that you pray through Mother Mary, yet in actual sense you're worshipping a goddess of sexual morality. May God bless you. In the days before the coming of Jesus Christ, Italy was the superpower of those days.